So yeah, that's what I was saying was, you don't know raindrop is incredible until you experience raindrop or you find yourself at a teaching. So after this is recorded, spread the word. I think every household needs this in their home. And I'm just freshly reminded of how incredibly powerful it is. So this last weekend, was it 2 weekends ago? Oops. I found myself at a care training. I've always wanted to do it. And I don't know, it's just one of those things. You kind of like, oh, I'll do it next year. I'll do it next year. Well, this was a sweet lady from our team, and she was doing it 30 minutes from my house, and I could not think of a reason why not to do it. And I'm so thankful that I said yes, because even though I've been a young living oiler for almost 12 years, I felt like I was brand new. I felt like I was rediscovering God's intended plan for us in plants, and what all is there for our physical health, for our emotional health. Raindrop was a day and a half of the 3.5-day weekend. We did emotional release, we did VitaFlex, and we did chemistry and oils of the Bible, which was the history of anointing and laying on of hands. And it was just wonderful. So we ended with raindrop, and I had scheduled this in advance, knowing that I was going to be going through that training. And so it's going to be impossible for me to tell you everything that I did in 15 hours, in 20 minutes, but it's just going to be a little taste. And it's going to be a little taste, hopefully, to pique your interest, to remind you, if you know about raindrop, to remind you to bring it back into your family, or to do it regularly, or to tell friends about it. I was literally in the grocery store this morning and talked to a woman who has chronic back pain from a car accident that she was in. And right then and there, I got her number and I scheduled a raindrop with her in 3 weeks from now. And I'm like, I'm doing this. I'm going to help you. I'm going to teach you about this. So this is a tool that will help so many people. So I don't know, I'll just keep kind of paying attention and see if he pops on tonight. But the guy who is on our team, Missy and David Garrick, they're wonderful couple. They live in Texas. He was getting certified as an instructor. And if he does jump on tonight, I'll have him kind of end with a little bit about care specifically, and how you guys can get in touch if you're interested in that. So CARE is the Center for Aromatherapy Research and Education. It's approved by the National Certification Board for Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork. So people that attend it are getting continuing education hours. And it is the one and only training program that exists out there for raindrop as far as certification goes. Of course, I'm going to talk about the kit that you can buy with Young Living, and it comes with instructions. I'll show you the YouTube video. Of course, you can just learn it like that and do it. That's how I've done it for years, on my family, on my kids, my husband. But now that I've gone to an actual real training, I can say there is a difference. And I learned a lot. But you can't mess it up. So the raindrop technique, it is a combination of I'm going to say 9, now I'm forgetting 11 different oils that are for both body and mind. I just learned the history about this, and that's maybe this will be something you learn tonight too that you didn't know about, but some of the benefits of this, not all, just some. It's incredibly relaxing and rejuvenating and refreshing. When I got off the table, now we were practicing on each other, so it took us longer because we were trying to learn the different VitaFlex moves. It took us about 2 hours to do each other, but by the time I got up, I was in such a deep state of relaxation. I had to just sit there and I could just feel energy, because we are bioelectric beings, and we have a lot of energy. You know this if you've ever had static in your hair, right? But there's a lot of energy. It's creating flow and blood flow and lymph flow and all that. And so I kind of just sat there and I could just feel a lot going on in my body, and I was in a deep state of relaxation. Later, I felt incredibly energized from it. I felt energized in my physical body and in my mood. So it's wonderful for soothing tension and fatigued muscles. It's wonderful for supporting your immune system, your digestive system. It's a great detoxer for your body systems because of the oils that are in it, which I'll talk about in a little bit. It's wonderful for balancing and realigning the energy centers of your body. Also going to be beneficial for emotions. The first time I ever did a raindrop, which was 10 years ago, on Jeremy, he laughed the whole time I did it. And I was like, why are you so weird? It wasn't just like a little laugh. It was like a Jekyll, like a hackle. What's that word? Like, like that. And I was like, you're freaking me out. Why are you laughing? And like, is it tickling you? And he was like, I can't stop laughing. Well, I later learned, and I relearned really the why behind that. But that was actually an emotional release that some people get. Some people cry, some people laugh. He's never done it since. I've never seen it since. And I've done raindrops on so many people. But that was really interesting for my first one, because neither of us were expecting that. But I was like, oh, I can actually attest that there is a different release that's going on. So weird, but cool. This can be a really powerful health tool. Okay, here's your oils: oregano, there, oregano, thyme, basil, cypress, wintergreen, marjoram, peppermint, valor, and aroma seeds. I have a friend that whenever I do it for her, she always says, I smell like a pizza. It smells like a pizza. It's different for me than that because it's got like the peppermint and the wintergreen, but a lot of those, you can recognize a lot of those herbs. Sorry, just reading this message. Harmony, did you want to put that message to everybody, or was that supposed to just be for me? It's pretty cool. If it's meant to just be for me, I won't read it out loud. Okay, so a little bit of this history. So the raindrop technique was developed by the Young Living founder, D. Gary Young, in 1989. He actually developed it based on methods that have been used for centuries by the Lakota Native American tradition, where they would actually sit under the Northern Lights, which I've had the chance, I know Harmony's had the chance to sit under the Northern Lights, which is really energetic and really wonderful and powerful. Just a gift from God and nature, and inhaling the aroma of the conifer trees. And so he, with that history in mind, he kind of developed the raindrop technique. And even where we talk about, I'm not going to get into like the nitty gritty of how you do the raindrop technique, because there are training videos and I'll show you how to find that. But there's something called feathering, and that's also part of this Lakota tribe. But feathering is where you apply the oils as if you had feathers, which that would be really cool to use, but you're using your fingertips and you're kind of feathering the oils along the spine. I thought that was pretty cool. Some of the constituents that you're going to see. So I think for me going through care, just if y'all listen to these Monday night wellness calls, you know that what brings my heart so much joy is the research and the science and the chemistry behind a lot of this, because I find that if I ask the question how and why, it always points back to the creator. And so when I got into the nitty gritty with the chemistry, I was like, this is beautiful. This is intelligent design. This is plants that were intended for us, for our whole body. We are tri-dimensional beings. We are physical. We are emotional. So we got into some of these constituents. So I don't know if this will mean anything to y'all, but there are all sorts of different constituents. This is the chemical makeup of every single plant. Okay, so of every single oil, they're going to have several of these. Now, the most common ones that you'll hear about for the raindrop, we lovingly refer to them as PMS, just because they help us remember them that way. But I'm going to do them out of order. So phenols is your first main constituent. So phenols are really the oils that are high in phenols, come in and they cleanse your cell receptor sites of toxins. They're detoxers of all the junk. So examples of this in this kit would be like basil, oregano, peppermint. Of course, there's other oils and plants out there that are high in the phenols. So I'll go out of order. S is sesquiterpenes. I know I say that different. Some people say sesquiterpenes. I don't really know what's right or wrong. So sesquiterpenes deliver oxygen molecules to the cells, very similarly to like hemoglobin in the blood. They get to the root problem because they reprogram the misinformation that toxins do to your DNA, that rewire it. Okay, so some of these oils, let's see, these are like some that are out of the kit too, but cedarwood and vetiver and spikenard, which is a biblical oil, sandalwood and aloes, another biblical oil, myrrh, ginger, frankincense, a lot of these biblical oils, galbanum, onica, or onica, however you say it. The M, monoterpenes, are the oils like peppermint and cypress, and these are going to be the ones that reprogram the miswritten information. So this is your cellular memory, your DNA. This is rewiring rewiring it back to how God created it to be before it was reprogrammed by toxins. So you have all of these chemical constituents going on, and that's why there is a very specific order to the raindrop of which oils come first and which oils go last. So I know that people try to make raindrop in a bottle, and I've never told people not to do that, which is basically where you take all the oils and you put it in one roller. I don't tell people not to do that because I'm like, surely there's good. These oils are still going to do wonderful things for your body, but the order of raindrop is very scientifically based and for a reason. So there's certain things it's doing to cleanse your cells and your receptor sites before reprogramming it, if that makes sense. And then you can see on the screen here some other constituents that I didn't mention and what they do. So you'll see carvacrol. I don't know how to pronounce these, so just forgive me if I'm saying them wrong. But these are like your high in antioxidants and support your body's ability to naturally heal. Thymol, which is another big cleanser, another high antioxidant. This is great for bringing down inflammation. Alpha pinene. This is lots of studies. If I don't know if you recognize these, feel free to take a screenshot. Go Google these and go see the studies on just these constituents. Now, I always tell people there's a lot of flawed studies out there about aromatherapy in general. I tend to just kind of stay away from aromatherapy opinions, and I like to look at like more master herbalist or really the French model of aromatherapy. But typically you're not going to see in nature, you wouldn't see a single constituent by itself, right? So you're never going to see that with Young Living. You're going to see a full plant parts, steam distilled. And so it's going to have tons of different constituents. You're never going to have an isolated constituent that's not natural in nature. And so when you see a study of a single constituent, that's not always super accurate because you're not going to get that in your body. But these are the constituents that are high in a lot of these oils that I'm mentioning. Limonene, that's a big one. And there's different types of limonene in different oils, but that one is wonderful anti-inflammatory, anti-stress support. So these are I'm just talking constituents here, and I think that's so cool. So, oh, my picture didn't show up. I thought this was a picture of me doing the raindrop with Harvest on my back. Because she did the training with me last weekend, but this is straight from Care. So this is how Care describes raindrop. So raindrop is a sequence of anointing with oils and laying on of hands that brings structural and electrical alignment to the body in a relaxing and invigorating manner through the power of essential oils. So you start with Valor on the shoulders and the soles of the feet. And that's balancing the electrical energy in your body first before you start. And this is actually something that you can feel. I don't know if maybe I have that picture of me in Harvest, but I'm doing this. I'm doing this kind of electrical balancing before we get started. And you can feel when somebody feels balanced. It's very, very cool. And then you go into Vitaflexing, which is a technique, each foot. So you go left foot, then right foot with each individual oil. Then you go to the spine. So we get that word raindrop because the oils are dropped like rain on the spine about 6 inches above. And depending on the person, I'm not doing a training right now, but depending on the person, you typically do, I think Care does 4 to 6 drops on the spine of each oil, and on the foot, 2 to 3 drops per foot. Of course, for like when I do my chin, they get 1 drop on the spine, 1 drop on the foot, and we dilute with them because kids' skin is a little bit more sensitive. But my kids love being raindropped. They've been raindropped since they were babies, and they know that it makes them feel better. So this is a technique and a tool that we keep in our home for any sign of anything. And honestly, now after re-going through this training, I'm like, wait, we need to just do this monthly preventatively. I mean, this is so good for you. I used to raindrop my dog. I mean, you can do this for the whole entire family. Now, when I click on this, I don't know if this will mess it up. I'm going to try. Let's see.
Covered from the hips down
Okay, perfect.
with a sheet or a blanket. Tuck the towel or sheet into the recipient's pants.
Can y'all see that? So I'm not going to play this, but so you can see this is a video on YouTube from Young Living, from their channel that's called Learn How to Do the Raindrop Technique. And it kicks off like this.
The raindrop
With
technique
Mary Young.
is one of Gary's amazing gifts to all of us. I was given my first raindrop at a seminar in February of 1993, and I had an amazing experience. The world of essential oils was very new to me. I love to learn and know about new things pertaining to the wellness of the body, so I was naturally curious. I wanted to know more. Gary explained that the idea came.
Okay, I'm not playing this because we don't have time for it. I just wanted you to see the beginning so that when you go look for it on YouTube, you know exactly which one it is. But that video will actually walk you through the technique. So let's see here. Let me go back to my notes. So yeah, you can find that on the Young Living channel on YouTube. All right, so the raindrop technique collection is one of Young Living's most popular connections, and it's definitely a money saver. Go look for yourself. If you wanted to just get like 7 of these oils individually, you're going to save money by getting the kit. If you're doing the standard amount of, like I just mentioned, 4 to 6 drops on the spine for each oil and 2 to 3 drops on each foot, then the raindrop kit is going to last you for about 6 raindrops. Of course, if you use less, then it will last you for more. But it comes with all of the oils as well as 2 carrier oils, V6, which is just 6 vegetable oils. It's a carrier oil that has no essential oils added to it, so it has no smell. I really like V6. You don't need a lot. A little bit goes a long way. It feels greasy at first, and then you'll find your skin will just absorb it. So it doesn't leave like a super greasy residue at the end. Ortho Ease massage oil is absolutely amazing. Even just by itself, it's already got in it essential oils for muscles and joints and ligaments and pain, and it's ready to go. But you do use both of these in the raindrop. Okay, I feel like I skipped something. Did I skip something? So let me see if David popped on. No, he didn't. All right, so here's what I put together just for like a little bit more. Obviously you want to go learn the technique, right? And grab the kit to save money. Do it for your family. When you get like the real training though, there's nothing like it. So I just went ahead and put the website there for y'all. It's raindroptraining.com. And you can learn where the trainings are. Also, we kind of set up just for our team, but anyone who wants to do this, if you text CARE to that number right there, we're going to let you know when anyone on our team is doing something, or like tonight's raindrop video, we sent a text out letting them know that was going on. And then, of course, if you're new here to the Monday wellness calls, we remind you every single week that a Monday, when a call is happening, that it's happening. We remind you the day before, and then we send the recording to you the day after. So you can text the word latest to that number right there, 985-218-8868. So again, if you're finding yourself here tonight, I think everybody that's live watching is already a Young Living member, customer. If you find yourself, if you're watching this recording and you're not a customer, get with the person who invited you to the call so that they can help you place an order and grab your raindrop kit. Oh, look, there's the picture of me on Harvest. And of course, you can just reach out with any questions, but I hope this was helpful. Again, just a little speed dating session of what raindrop is, what it can do for your body, your mind. It's just absolutely wonderful. And I know once you experience it, you're going to want to tell people about it. And gosh, you might even want to get trained in it so that you can do it for people, because it's really just giving people just a wonderful gift of life. And so the other thing I wanted to point out, if you're like a sciencey person and you want to know what this really can do for you, this book is written by David Stewart, Dr. David Stewart. It's called A Statistical Validation of Raindrop Technique. Not very big, but this is basically the culmination of thousands of people getting raindrop and all of the results, as well as the second half of the book is just testimonies. And y'all, the testimonies in here are everything from, I'm just going to read some of them I see. Bell's palsy, chronic backache from scoliosis, sciatic nerve pain, paraplegic, spinal meningitis, whiplash injuries, over-the-counter pain relievers that have caused toxicity. There's a million testimonies in here that are just absolutely amazing. And don't be fooled to think that that raindrop is just for people that have had injury or like deal with like traumatic injury. It is literally for anybody. The first sign of something going on in my family, I know that the best thing to do is raindrop. Even if I don't know what I'm dealing with, I'm just like, let's do a raindrop, because I know that it's going to help and it's going to give your body a fighting chance to get healthy fast. So I hope that was helpful. Does anyone have questions before I sign off? The exact title of the book, A Statistical Validation of Raindrop Technique. I don't know if you can see that. Is that backwards for you? That website that I put at the very end, Juliet, I'll go back to that. It's raindroptraining.com. That's where you can buy this book, as well as so many other books. That's where I got my chemistry book. That's where I got my emotional release book. I mean, they're all there, raindroptraining.com. And yes, you can find it on Amazon, but I say support that business if you can. You might pay $2 more, but I always feel like that's worth it. So, all right, y'all. Thank you for coming. And we haven't announced our next month's classes yet, but we'll see you next month at the next one. Bye, y'all.